My name is Catherine Lahara. I am the youth minister here at Our Lady of Joy, and I just wanted to take a moment to come to you to lay out everything that's going to be going on this weekend, to finish up Holy Week and to journey to Easter. And we have so much planned for you. So this video is tips, tricks, and resources to allow your families to worship with us and with the whole church this Easter weekend. And so I hope that you watch this before Holy Thursday, which is the next day for us this Holy Week. The next day is Holy Thursday, is where we celebrate the Feast of the Last Supper. And then on Good Friday, we're going to remember Christ's death on the cross. It's a day of remembrance. And then on Saturday is a day of waiting and a day of reflecting on that death on the cross and having an opportunity to reflect on that for a whole day, right? And then we get to celebrate on Sunday. We get to celebrate the resurrection, and we get to celebrate Easter Sunday together as a family. And so what we want to do, and what what our Bishop Olmsted has called us to do, is to really bring the domestic church alive during this time. This is a great opportunity for you as a family to act as Bishop Olmsted would say, as the cell of the church, and to worship within your homes. And we here at Our Lady of Joy are going to be working really hard to stream all of these worship events to you in your homes so that you can participate. But we also want to encourage you to participate at home as well without these tools, whatever works for your family, okay? So first we're going to start with just some tips on how to approach these services this weekend. We're going to go through some tips, and then we're going to go through some tricks. And at the very end, I'm going to talk specifically about the streaming platforms that we have going on right now and kind of explain a little bit about each one. And whatever works for your family is what you should do, right? So if you've got everything going on at home, you don't need the tips, just at least fast forward to the tricks or the resources at the end where I explain each of the platforms, each of the viewing platforms, just so that maybe you can get some idea on what's going to work for your family. We'd like to share with you when it comes to streaming a mass at home, and these tips are a couple of them came from the bishop, and the bishop has been communicating with us as a church and giving us these wonderful resources, these great ideas on how in the domestic church we can exactly bring that domestic church alive in worship. Mass scheduled, right? So schedule mass throughout this weekend. Know when we're live streaming things, and if you don't want to participate in the live stream and it just doesn't work for you, then at least still set a time of when we're going to watch a YouTube recording of the mass, or when we're going to reflect on the word together as a family. Each day of Easter weekend is going to have something for you to do at home, something for you to reflect on. So for example, Holy Thursday Mass starts at 5 p.m. We're going to be streaming it from the church here at Our Lady of Joy. And so just knowing that as a family, sharing that amongst your entire family, gathering the whole family into one meeting space, like, hey, everyone needs to be in the living room at 5 p.m. on Thursday. Another way to help kind of set the mood, especially if you have young kids at home, this might really help, is to pull out a table, and let's say you're streaming on the TV or a computer or a phone. Pull out that table and put the table in front of the TV, or place whatever it is you're streaming on that table, and maybe even put like a white sheet if you have it, or a tablecloth if you have it would be awesome, a white one, and that can signify the altar, right, that we see when we get to go to Mass. So for young kids, that might be really helpful to signify that, hey, this is something different, right? And then the next thing you can do as well is you have a crucifix or a cross, you can place that on the table. On that table, you can place a candle, and you can light that candle when Mass starts. And that also helps teens or kids really signify that, like, hey, something important's happening, something special. And so even if it's like a fragrance candle at home, any candle that you have, just put that on the table and then light it when Mass starts. The next tip and trick that we would have for you is to get dressed for Mass. So get dressed, get the whole family dressed. This isn't a time to have mass in PJs, right? If you get dressed, it kind of really helps wake your mind up and tell yourself like, okay, this is something that I'm gonna put my all into. And this especially works for those young kids or teenagers, is really try to get them to get dressed and like as if they were coming to the church for mass on Holy Thursday or any of the days this weekend, any of the services that you might attend virtually. Try to get everyone up, get dressed, let's go. We're meeting in the living room and something special is happening here, right? And then the next thing too is to grab onto, another tip is to grab onto a missal, a Bible, Magnificat. You also can Google the usccb.org has all of the readings for any mass really, but you can get those readings online. You can print them out. If not, you can keep them online, and or having a missal or having a Bible with the readings picked out for that day will really help, especially with technical difficulties, like let's say the sound doesn't work. You have the readings right in front of you, right? So even getting one for every member of the family would be awesome. But if you just have one, that would be so great, because if technical difficulties do happen, you still have the word in front of you and you can still reflect on the word for that day and whatever the scripture passage is. And especially for young kids and teenagers, if they can't hear through that live stream, or any of our parishioners really, if you're having trouble with the volume or anything like that, this would be a great opportunity to just read with us in the word. So just grab a Bible, a missal, a Magnificat, whatever you have. Google the readings beforehand and prepare in that way, and hopefully that will help with really diving into the word for that service. Another thing too is to turn off all other electronics and toys in the home, and just focus in on that service, that prayer service or mass or whatever it is that you're streaming through this weekend. Everyone's got to turn off their phones, turn off any other TVs, no doing the dishes while watching. Just try to really focus the whole family in worship this weekend. We just want to encourage you to do that, and some beautiful things will hopefully come out of really building up the domestic church this weekend. Receiving spiritual communion as well. So any of the masses that you attend virtually, we just want to encourage you to pray the spiritual communion prayer, which is like on our website, or you can Google it. It's on the Laudate app on your cell phone. It's once again on that usccb.org website. There's plenty of places you can get it. We have been reciting it in communion, during communion, so we just want to encourage you to recite that with us during virtual mass. So those are just some tips on how to really focus on a virtual mass. I mean, it's just so crazy to think about the world that we live in right now, where we're not able to go to mass, we're watching mass online. And so hopefully these things will help with young kids or teenagers or anybody to really dive in and focus. And so another thing that I want to go through is like really specific practical things you can do every day this week. So tomorrow is Holy Thursday. So hopefully you will watch this video before Thursday night at least. And so tomorrow is Holy Thursday. Mass begins at 5 p.m. so make sure to prepare. And if you remember from tradition, Holy Thursday Mass is the Feast of the Last Supper, where usually the priest would wash the feet. Here at Our Lady of Joy, the priest washes the feet of 12 men, parishioners in the community. And this is a symbol of Jesus washing the apostles' feet at the Last Supper. And Jesus does this out of love for them, out of sacrificial love. What we can do at our homes on Holy Thursday, either before or after Mass, if you'd like to stream and watch Mass with us on Thursday night, is we just want to encourage family members within their homes to wash each other's feet. This can also be an incredible moment for the head of the household, so our dads, to wash the feet of all of the family members in the home. And what an incredible act of sacrificial love and service that our dads could do. I just think that's just the most beautiful thing. I wish I could see all of you doing this at home, but we just want to encourage you to still take part in that within the domestic church, within your homes. So on Holy Thursday, we've got Mass at 5 p.m., which will be live streamed, and also an opportunity before or after is having someone, the head of the household, wash each other's feet. Just like all you need is a bowl of water and maybe like a little cup or like a little rag, and it's super simple, and you just put the bowl down and wash the feet. So hopefully everyone has that in their homes and they can participate in that in a really, really beautiful way within your families. And so another thing, the next day is Good Friday. So this is the day where we remember the death of Christ on the cross. And what we have going on here at Our Lady of Joy is a Divine Mercy Chaplet is going to be sung at 2:30 p.m. And we're going to go straight into the Veneration of the Cross. And so we want to encourage you as a family to really do whatever works for you. You're welcome to stream the chaplet and the Veneration of the Cross from here at Our Lady of Joy. And we also want to encourage you, if it works for your family, to just do it on your own as well, to just gather everyone in and to pray the Divine Mercy Chaplet. And so let's say if you're streaming with us, by 2:30, be like, hey, everyone's coming in at 2:30, get everyone a rosary, and we're going to pray the Divine Mercy Chaplet with the church. And then for Veneration of the Cross, if you have a cross in your home, you've got a crucifix or just like any cross, you could make one. You could have your kids draw one. You could draw one. You could print one out. You could literally, there's no way you can't get a cross. Okay, so get a cross and put it up in whatever meeting space you're gathering in, and this can be used as Veneration of the Cross. What you would do at home is pray through the stations of the cross and then end on the cross in prayer and in remembering Christ's death for us. You would venerate that cross. You're welcome to show some sort of reverence to the cross by maybe inviting every family member to genuflect to the cross, inviting every family member to kiss the cross, whatever works for you. And if you don't have the stations of the cross, you can Google them. I promise they are anywhere and everywhere. I can send you a PDF of Mary's Way of the Cross, which is my personal favorite stations of the cross to pray, which is the stations from the perspective of Mary. And I've always just really resonated with that. So if you would like that, please shoot me an email or contact the front desk, and we would love to get you set up with that. And so that's Good Friday. Holy Saturday is a day of waiting for the resurrection. So it is a day where it would be really awesome if the family had at least a window of time to really reflect on the death of Christ. It's kind of a somber day, a day of reflection and a day of prayer. It's definitely not a day for parties. And maybe even just set up, I know it's hard to do that with kids, or even just anytime, right? And so maybe set a time period where, hey, we're all gonna sit down and we're just gonna pray or read or spend some time in silence, really reflecting on the idea that Christ died for us because he loves us so much, and give some time on Holy Saturday to the Lord, in waiting and in remembrance for the death of Christ and waiting for his resurrection. And so that's the next day, right? Easter Sunday is the resurrection of the Lord. It is a day of celebrations, and I'm sure many of you already have Easter traditions in your pocket ready to go for Easter. And so we just want to encourage you to continue those traditions within your own families, within your household. And Mass will be streamed from Our Lady of Joy at 10 a.m. And what we want to encourage you to do at home is, besides all these other tips and tricks, like get a table and everything, but also get up and get dressed, right? Everyone on Easter wears like the most pretty dresses and like does their hair and like does makeup, and everyone's like spraying, and it's awesome. And we just want to still invite you as a family to do that. Maybe take pictures in your backyard. That would be so awesome, to just get up, get dressed, get everyone dressed in the family. And that really reminds our children and our family members of the joy and the celebration of Easter, and that is not going anywhere this year, that we still have the resurrection of Christ because he loves us and because he died for us, and he wants us to live in that joy for Easter Sunday. So get up, get dressed, and we'll see you at 10 a.m. So that is Holy Week. Those are hopefully some helpful tips. Now I just want to talk about technical stuff, okay? So we have been working so hard to bring you these streams, to bring you these recordings, and so I just want to explain a little bit about what the platforms are that we're using, and hopefully that will help you guys navigate. So the first way that we're streaming is new, and it is through a link, and it is through a company called Christian World Media. And this link is up on our website. It's www.oloj.org. We have a banner up that says live streamed mass, and there's a little link that says view now, okay? So if you click on that link, you'll be brought to our dashboard. And it should say offline if we are not online. So if we're not having any streaming going on right now, it should say offline. So for example, on Holy Thursday, Mass starts at 5 p.m. What I want to encourage you to do is to get onto our website, oloj.org, and click on the View Now stream at like 4:45. Okay, so you'll get it up, get it loaded, get it ready to go at 4:45, because then right at 5 p.m. Mass is going to start, and that'll give you the 15 minutes to just troubleshoot any issues that you may have with the link and just make sure that it's up and running. But it should say offline, so don't worry, because we won't be online until 5 p.m. Okay, so that's the link. The next way that we are recording is on our Facebook. So if you have a Facebook account and you follow us at Our Lady of Joy Catholic Church on our Facebook page, you will get a notification that says, hey, Our Lady of Joy is live. And that's right at 5 p.m. So at 4:45, if you're looking for the link on Facebook, let's say Facebook just works for your family and you want to stream through Facebook, which is so great, you're not going to see us live until 5 p.m. So like until we get live, right? So we're going to try and go live a little early so that you can get set up and get ready. But there is not a link for you to click on until we initiated on our end. And our last way to watch any of our services is through YouTube. YouTube is not live. It is a recording, and that will be uploaded after our live services. So usually I try to get it up within a few hours. So let's say, for example, Holy Thursday Mass is live at 5 p.m., but you are welcome to watch it on YouTube at 7:30 p.m. if that's a tradition of your family and that works for you guys. I will have it uploaded by 7, and you will be able to watch Holy Thursday Mass by 7:30 p.m. If that works for you. So our YouTube channel is Our Lady of Joy Catholic Church, youtube.com. And those are all pre-recording, so those are not live. So our only live options are through Facebook or through our link on the website. A couple tips and tricks on advice through those 3 platforms that we have. The link, if you're choosing to watch through the link and you open it up at 4:45, at 5 p.m., if we start at 5 p.m., try to refresh the page, okay? So that means like kind of closing it out and reopening it, or hitting like there's a button at the top will just like refresh the page, and that's what will bring the live stream onto your page, your computer or your phone, okay? So if you're not seeing it and it's like 5:05 and like you don't see it, then refresh the page and it should come up for you. But we're starting right on time this weekend, so if you don't see it by a couple minutes, then you need to refresh the link so that it comes up, okay? And then another advice on streaming is to make sure that all of the Wi-Fi in your home is streaming straight into whatever you're using to stream. So that means if everyone in the home has an iPhone, turn off everyone's Wi-Fi, or turn off everyone's phone, honestly, because their phone is sitting there like eating up the Wi-Fi. And it might just help just a little bit to just give all of the Wi-Fi to whatever streaming platform you're using to watch Mass, and it'll give it that extra boost that it needs. Wi-Fi can be so weird. Our Wi-Fi and your Wi-Fi too. And so it's hard to tell where the loading issues are happening, or the audio or the sound issues are happening, or maybe the skipping. It could be your Wi-Fi at home. It could be our Wi-Fi. We've boosted our Wi-Fi, so we really pray that this weekend you'll be able to watch smoothly. And if you are having any trouble, maybe try turning off all other electronics in the house so that that one is loading. Another great option that we've seen help the live stream is to use a computer instead of your phone. I know that's really tough because life. And if you have a computer at home, it really seems to stream a little bit better than the cell phone. So we just want to give you some advice that if you would like a really clear stream, to maybe try to use a computer at home instead of the cell phone, or even an iPad also streams pretty much better than a phone. But at the end of the day, whatever works for your family is what's going to work for them, and we're just so glad that you're trying to stream Mass from Our Lady of Joy. I think that's it. What else I need to say? So that is all I have for you. Those are the tips and tricks, and I hope that they help you this weekend in streaming Mass, and I just pray that everything goes smooth. And we just want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for all of your support and feedback. We would love to continue receiving that feedback. We need to know here how you guys are watching things at home and what works for you and what doesn't work for you. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. We really need it, and to continue, just want to encourage you to continue sharing that with us so that we can just keep making things better and better, and that we miss you terribly here at Our Lady of Joy. And we hope that this video finds you well, and we will definitely be praying for you this weekend. Any questions, please feel free to call the front office or call the office, or shoot me an email. My name is Catherine Lahara. My email is on the website, and I would love to chat with you. Or if you have any other questions about this kind of stuff, please let me know. I am here for you, and God bless you. Bye. Happy Holy Week.